classic R&B, hip hop pop,
I still get you.
reggae, EDM, indie, old school,
Side. Check it.
and sports talk.
Right here.
WorldStarHitRadio.com.
Welcome to Connecting Atlanta Radio, hosted on the #1 online hit radio station, WorldStarHitRadio.com, where we interview engaging, entertaining, professional, positive change makers in the community every Tuesday at 8 o'clock p.m. And this evening, we have an amazing guest, Jimmy, the Realtor Jones.
That's right. Formerly Atlanta's own Jimmy Jones.
Formerly, well, he's still that too, but yeah, the Realtor
I'm still a native, that's right.
So, welcome to the show, Jimmy.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate the invites.
Yes, of course.
Connecting ATL.
I had to book him like a month in advance to be able to hopefully get you on my calendar and then guilt you into coming.
Well, you know what? Some people had to book me 2 months in advance,
Right.
so I'm just like, thank you so much. I'm really honored to be here.
Yeah, thank you. So, a long time ago, I got on your email database,
For some reason.
ATL Tonight.
Which is now TonightAtlanta.com.
Which is tonight now, right?
TonightAtlanta.com. Switched the name.
Wow, a long time ago too.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, but I was like, oh my gosh, this guy has a huge list, but he really knows how to market out his email list, right? And really had a lot of things that you had going on in the city. But the funny thing is, even though you just push out a lot of stuff, everyone thinks it's always yours, even though it's not.
Well,
a lot of it is, but not everything.
They're learning the older I get, the less they see me out, the less events that I'm actually doing. So, age will slow you down.
Right. And so I had wanted to work with you, and I'm glad that we had the opportunity to do some networking events.
I love doing those networking
together.
events with you.
Yeah.
That was such a pleasure. I was telling somebody about that earlier today.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Okay. And so anyhow, but I just wanted to just say thanks for that. That was a great opportunity, learning experience for me. And I just never forget, we were at this one event and this one place, and they tried to switch it. This is like one of the last ones that we did, but they tried to switch it up onto us last minute. And I saw Jimmy be a total boss and not allow anybody to ever take advantage of you, or just really not back down and stand up for what was right. So
that's right.
I was like, dang. I was like, but go ahead.
Hey, we're on the same team.
I know.
As long as we're on the same team, we're on the winning team.
Right, exactly.
Always.
So I always appreciated your confidence and your ability to just be confident in what you're doing and know that nothing's going to come in the way between you and your dreams and your goals and stuff like that.
That's right.
So and I remember a long time ago saying, I'm going to be making some changes, there's going to be some things happening, but you didn't tell me what it was, but I guess it was the transition that you're at now.
I'm studying for that real estate exam.
Yes. So now you are a realtor, and
praise God.
So what made you decide to move into that transition from doing the selling your e-blasts and stuff like that, moving into real estate?
Gotcha. Well, I thank God Almighty that I still am blessed and fortunate enough to still be able to run my email marketing company, TonightAtlanta.com. So that has always been my bread and butter. It was my baby, and if your baby's still loving you, then you still loving your baby.
Right.
You know what I mean? So my baby's still loving me. You know what I mean? So, but for a long time, real estate had been like a second language to me that I've always wanted to learn. You know what I mean? It's kind of like sitting in a room and everyone's speaking Spanish and you don't know Spanish. And it's kind of like you feel less important in the conversation of the room when you can't speak the language. Right. So, God gave me the confidence to go ahead and take the class. When I found out that the real estate class was only like $400, which, I mean, that's a lot of money, but in retrospect to going back to school and things of that nature, $400 to get an education is priceless.
Right.
So, especially an education that you can use over different markets, in different cities, because even though the laws for real estate vary from state to state, it's still real estate. You're still buying and selling property, land, whatever you're doing, you're still doing the business of real estate. So, I just took the class. I never expected to pass the test. I'm just gonna, but thank goodness God had other plans. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but halfway through actually taking the class, I fell in love with it. You know what I mean? It was just like, it was something that made sense, and I had a great teacher. So I was able to learn pretty quickly, and I told God, I was like, if I pass this first test, because there's 2 tests you have to pass, the pre-test and then the state exam. I was like, God, if I pass this pre-test, then I must be, destined for something in real estate. And so, he has a sense of humor. You know what I mean? I passed. You know what I mean?
It.
Yeah. And then so, once I got passed and, passed the state exam, then, then comes the marketing part of it, which, I've been fortunate enough to have a love also for marketing.
Right.
So my 2 loves kind of meshed together. And then, I started marketing myself out to my own database and, learning how to process my leads and this, that, and the other. And, I don't want anybody out there to think that I'm truly successful yet. You know what I mean? Success is waking up every day and thanking God. You know what I mean?
I love that.
It is.
I love that.
But, me, it's just a journey, so I'm enjoying the process. I also made a promise to myself that I wouldn't give up this time. So many times in my life, I used to brag about being a serial entrepreneur. And until I started seeing other people start using my same term, and I realized I had to switch it up. Because you can be, what do they say, a jack of all trades, but a master of none. And I realized that most of my life I'd been a jack of all trades.
Right.
And now it's time to be a master of something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in addition to your email marketing campaign.
In addition to that. Yeah, in addition to that. But that's fun,
Yeah.
I mean, it still allows me to entertain the entertainment part of myself, which unfortunately, age has started to catch. I don't know if y'all can see those gray hairs out there and there, but I mean, I don't even go out as much, you know what I mean?
Right.
I barely even go out.
Right.
Some people, are surprised at that, but I think with age comes maturity, and I have a son now, so
Who's adorable.
Oh, thank you so
Yeah.
much. I really appreciate. He looks just like his dad, not his mom. Just playing, just playing, Kelly. but yeah, and so I have something greater to live for, and starting to set those patterns of generational wealth,
Right.
which I feel like in the Black community, especially, we need to start having those conversations in terms of passing down things that appreciate versus
Right.
depreciate or nothing at all.
It's interesting because I was listening to an interview on my way over here on my podcast, and I was like, wow, that's a great question. I'm going to ask Jimmy that. So you kind of just flowed right into it.
Segue.
And so, when Jimmy has gone on to see the Lord, at that time on your tombstone, that dash, what do you want that to say about your life?
Wow. That was a great question.
And you segued right into it.
Well, I did,
I was going to wait till the end, but here you go.
Yeah. I mean, I would want to say that, I would want it to say that, he left a legacy. You know what I mean? One time someone said that there's no greater thing in life than to have your voice carry on after you're gone, or to have something that you started carry on. People start foundations and, do things that continue on, or like, successful musicians have the benefit of having their music and their voice still being able to really be heard. But, I want to create a legacy. And so, for my son, and, if I ever start another family again, but, I would definitely want to say is that he lived on purpose.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. He lived on purpose.
On purpose. Every day. Live on purpose. Wake up with a purpose. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. To go out
And if
there,
you wake up every day, that means that God has a purpose for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Man, you just spitting it all out tonight, huh, Jimmy?
Well, after that wonderful Instagram post you did on me today, I kind of had to outdo you. So with those wonderful words you said, I had to kind of be poetic today.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so with that, so you're doing a lot of stuff in real estate. So where would you say is probably like your target area? What are the type of individuals that you do like to do real estate with, and so forth?
Okay. Well, I mean, anytime we talk about the Atlanta market, we're talking about where the locations are that people are trying to move. You know what I mean? It's always, right now we're in the middle of a seller's market, okay? So in a seller's market, sellers win. In a buyer's market, buyers win. And that's all dictated off of inventory. How many houses are for sale. Eventually, it's going to come back around to be a buyer's market.
Right.
But, just in talking with my buyers that I, in the areas where they're looking, I mesh that with, in real estate, we call it our farm area where we want to farm. And so, I live in East Atlanta, okay? So, I mean, the East Atlanta market, from East Atlanta to the Kirkwood area that's a pretty progressive area. I mean, everyone knows from, anything around the Beltline is pretty popping right now, you know what I mean? Because that's the most talked about, that's one of the most recently developed parts of Atlanta. It's one of the most exciting parts of Atlanta next to the new stadiums.
And it's growing.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. So, but, you also have to look at where people are getting the best deals, you know what I mean? And I've had a lot of success on the west side of Atlanta, as far as Mableton.
Wow.
Yeah, as far as Mableton, I mean, I was up in I have some clients up in Woodstock now.
Yeah.
And I was down in Union City this weekend, and you know what? I just go where the money is right now, because as a new agent, you can choose to pass on the business to another agent and just get a percentage of the, commission or something, or you can take it on yourself. And I'm a learner, like right now, I'm such a sponge. So any opportunity, I mean, my old roommate from college, he's moving down here, him and his family, his wife and his 3 kids, they're going to be moving down here. And I took them all the way up by the Mall of Georgia.
Oh, wow.
And they love Buford. And
really?
Oh, my God. They love it.
Well, they have a family and stuff, too, so it makes sense.
Yeah. So,
I always think, who the heck would want to live all the way out there? But there are people living out there, so that means someone does.
Well, he works, from home. And,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, so, there are people that buy houses in every market every day, or at least every week. You know what I mean? So what you have to understand is that it's just up to you as a real estate agent to figure out what your leads, how your leads are coming in, and if they're coming in outside the perimeter and you need that business, then guess what your business is?
Right.
Outside the perimeter.
So do you work with a lot of buyers, or do you work with sellers as well?
Well, I work with both.
Okay.
More recently, I've been working with buyers, and I've been pretty successful in terms of getting buyers educated. And after they're educated, then I'm get them over to one of my preferred lenders who talks to them about what the financial parts. Because I'm just a real estate agent. I don't deal with the loan or the
right.
But I do work with some great lenders. One in particular, it's my boy Armand Knowles with Homestar Financial.
Oh, you know what? I have a loan with them.
Okay,
but we started off with Homestar, then it gets sold off. But, But yeah,
Homestar,
that's who I got my original loan with my condo.
Heck yeah, Homestar's pretty popping.
Geronimo was my.
Geronimo. Okay.
Yeah, Geronimo.
Well, he's not as good as Armand.
But
we won't hold that against you.
No, that was my boy though. You know what I'm saying? We worked together, so
yeah.
that was. So you know what I'm saying? You obviously go, especially when it comes to major decisions like that in your life.
Absolutely.
You're going to go with people that you feel comfortable with, that you trust. And if people feel comfortable with you, they're going to go with people that you feel comfortable with, that you trust, and that you know. Like, I would never suggest for you to recommend anyone to, unfortunately, Geronimo, but not because he's bad, but because you trust the other guy, you know him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's what it's all about in this business is trust. Yeah. We call it having a fiduciary relationship in real estate. And that's ultimate. That means your money is like my money. You know what I mean?
Right.
Your interest is like my interest.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm not a lawyer or anything, but to protect my clients is one of my key components of my personal business.
Right, right. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So you have when you were talking about educating some of your clients, and so one of the things you had talked about earlier was like the P's of Jimmy for
the 6 P's of purchasing power. Yeah. That's right. Because really, someone said this on an interview I saw earlier this week, and they were like, most people think cash, 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 and really, this country is built on credit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just like that's why we have this enormous debt. You know what I mean? So it's just like educating people on what it takes to purchase a house, and just in general, that's just called purchasing power. You know what I mean? My dad, bless his heart, one of the best things he ever did was instill good credit in me and my sister. Even when I had got into a little bit of problem, my dad bailed me out, and he said, "I'm only doing this because I want you to understand that credit, unless you plan on buying everything cash for the rest of your life, you're gonna need some credit." And I didn't understand at the time, but purchasing power. When you walk into a car dealership, or you walk into, or you want to get a house, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's certain areas of town that, you're going to have a certain credit score, certain, when you're going for a loan to value ratio. So the 6 P's, let me just get to it. 6 P's are proper preparation prevents poor purchasing power. Proper preparation prevents
poor purchasing power.
Most definitely, because when you're prepared and you understand what it takes, from the earnest money that you're gonna have to put up to the closing costs, which is what it takes to take you from contract to close,
right?
From your down payment on your loan, understanding all of the different types of loan, and I tell people all the time, I was like, get as educated as you can. There are a lot of down payment assistance programs out there. Don't ask me. Do the research yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Find out. I mean, you got Georgia Dream. You got Invest Atlanta. You got
Invest Atlanta's great.
Yeah, you got. You got so many options. NACA. You got. It just depends on whether you're trying to be quick with this thing, or you're trying to be. If you have a little time.
Yeah.
So if you have a little time, do your research and build that purchasing power to prevent. What is it? Proper preparation prevents poor purchasing power.
Right.
Yep.
That was, and then with a lot of those programs, they're great because they really help people get into homes
Absolutely.
and so forth. I remember when I closed on my condo in October, I was like, I just didn't.
Wait a minute, you did what?
I closed on my condo.
Now, who was your realtor?
He was working with me. It took 2 years to close my condo.
Okay, but I'm just not No, go ahead.
You had barely just started, I think, at that time.
The worst thing in the world is to be sitting next to one of your friends and they're talking about a real estate deal that they did without you as a realtor. No matter when you got your license.
He sat
That is an
insult.
Not from you to me, but to me to myself. I should have been in more contact. Like, we should have did more lunches or dinners. I should have gave you a Christmas card.
He didn't make that much money on it, so don't worry about it. Don't feel
It's
bad.
not about the money.
Yeah.
It's not about the money. But anyways, yes, it is.
No, yeah. So anyhow, I forgot what the heck I was gonna say.
Okay, so you bought this condo.
Yeah.
Without me. Go.
But the whole thing that was in regards to investment and all this other stuff, I was thinking out investing my time into a lot of that stuff. But I was like, crap, man, I don't want to be dealing with the government. I don't want to be dealing with all those classes and all that
And
stuff.
that's a decision that you have to make.
That was a decision I had to make.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's not worth it. But for people that don't necessarily have the capital
Correct.
to
It's an
get
option.
started, it's definitely a great option. I would recommend you're gonna spend it in one of two ways. You're gonna spend it through your time,
Absolutely.
right, and investing into yourself in these programs and understanding, which is great, or you're gonna spend it within your cash flow. It's gonna be
Absolutely.
one of the two areas.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So and then definitely as long as your percentage of your house note is gonna stay within your loan or
Yeah.
whatever it is, how much money you make or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So stick it with that.
Cool.
So
Well, good for you. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Did you have a good housewarming party without me?
I didn't even have a housewarming
Well, it's
party.
not too late. Let me we'll see. If you had a real
Now you're
realtor,
gonna throw me.
he would have thrown you.
Here to throw me.
Yeah, he would
But I
throw you.
lived there for like 5 years. I
Doesn't
didn't
matter.
have to move.
Doesn't matter. He would have thrown it again.
You know what? When I do my next barbecue
Let's do it.
for spring,
Okay.
we'll throw it.
That's how you make it up to me.
And anyone that you invite, we charge them an entry fee
You ain't right.
to get in.
You ain't right.
Or they got to bring food
Oh,
or drink or
wow,
something.
wow.
One
Well,
or the
that's
other
okay.
when they come.
BYOF.
You know what I'm saying? Right. BYOF. So everybody contributes. You
That's
know?
right. It's family.
You know, so that's awesome. So you're doing that now. You've really been integrated into the community, whether it's been through entertainment, and so forth. And now you're really helping to have individuals' dreams come true by becoming homeowners.
Absolutely.
Whether it's the first time or 100th time or whatever. And you also do a lot of different things. I'm not going to say specifically what, but you do a lot of things in the community now
Absolutely.
as well.
I'm a community engagement representative. Correct?
Yep.
Mhm.
And so you really it's all kind of coming full circle.
Yes.
And you're building your second empire, I see.
Well, you know what? I'm just following God's lead more than anything. There's been opportunities that have been provided that, I'm a college graduate, so there are things that as long as you are following a plan, okay, there's something, I tell people, like, I used to mentor kids and things of that nature, but, I used to tell them, I was like, you may not know where you're going to end up, but as long as you keep going and keep doing good business with people and be fair to people and be trustworthy, then eventually those seeds that you plant are going to harvest. As long as you keep living. And so those relationships that you build with people, as long as you do good business with people, eventually they will come back. But in that same instance, negativity that you plant, okay? Because people look at crazy things that happen to people and this, that, and the other, but you look at the seeds that they planted. Yeah. And so I'm just going to be honest, I planted a lot of good seeds, I planted a lot of good seeds, and I tell people all the time, I mean, it's not like, I'm not a bad person, you know what I mean? And, I feel like, my relationship with God has gotten so much more greater, and my love for Him, yes, most definitely. I went through a couple of different things recently, where you're presented with life fast sometimes. You know what I mean? And life happens fast. I say that all the time. But it's just how you handle life, how you react to it. You know what I mean? And that strength, my strength came from God. You know what I mean? And those seeds that I planted, I feel like He was the one that told me who to plant those seeds with and who not. Right. Yeah. So,
which is important because you can plant seeds on, unfertile ground or on rocks or stone and so forth. And even though our heart may be in it right, if we're not, the difference was you listened to Him and you went where He told you to go. Absolutely. And you went where you knew it was going to harvest and come up and be fruitful.
I didn't know, but I just trusted.
That's what,
you walk by faith and not by sight. You know what I mean? Yeah. So. In all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy path.
There you go.
Yeah, in all thy ways.
Jimmy's going to end up becoming a pastor next.
Well, I'm a son of a pastor. I used to play drums in my mama's church.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, every Sunday. And I'm still the charter member of a church in Tallahassee.
Okay.
Yeah, I was the master of music. I played saxophone, piano, and drums.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Do you still play?
Nope. Nope.
Is that where you're from? Tallahassee?
No, I'm from a small town called Decatur, Georgia.
Oh, Decatur.
Okay, east side.
Decatur,
okay, don't be a hater. Decatur.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I went to school in Florida A&M University, Rattlers. Yeah, that's a little rattler snake they got. You probably thought I had like a seizure.
No, I realized it was a rattler.
It was a snake. Yeah.
It was something like that. Anyways, we'll edit it.
Yeah, just take absolutely.
So we want to thank you all for coming on the show today, Jimmy. It was an awesome blessing. Oh gosh. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. We are the #1 online hit radio station in America, WorldStarHitRadio.com. Connecting Atlanta is signing off, and have a great evening.